you're watching this, ugly Christmas sweaters can sell for some crazy money. I'm talking $100 and more, and some of these are over the top ugly. So stick around and let me show you the exact ones to grab so that you can cash in year-round. Hey friends, it's LeeMeier from ListingToFreedom and the Empowered Reseller. Having made over $100,000 net profit myself flipping used clothes online, I now get to help you know exactly what to look for when you're outsourcing and how to flip those finds for big profit. If you've ever thought those ugly Christmas sweaters were just for wearing to your next holiday party, then think again. Some of these vintage, novelty, and character sweaters are flipping for big profits, even in the middle of summer. In this video, I'm showing real sold comps and exactly what makes these types of items valuable. So grab a notebook because these are the types of ugly sweaters that are selling well now, plus well after Christmas is past. Let's dive in. All right, this first item is from a brand that you're gonna see probably a few times mixed in here. It's called Barrack. The tag may look a little bit different. This one actually says Barrack 2 on it. But this one has got cactus, it's got cowboy boots, it's got some holiday ornaments there in the middle. Very, very decorative. And this sweater sold full asking price for $129. And this is a good place to remind you to put even those more obvious keywords in the title. For example, cowboy boots, cactus. Don't overlook those obvious ones. This is a sweater from a brand that I have not seen before. It's called IB Diffusion Sport. It's actually listed as a men's sweater, which I would argue against. Most of these older items are a little bit oversized. That was part of the style of a lot of these ugly Christmas sweaters. This one has Santa, a reindeer. It looks like a little cabin down there in the snow. There's that cabin. Gonna go ahead and zoom in on that because with all of these that are selling for quite a lot, you're gonna notice that they have a lot of detail, a lot of beadwork, handwork, time that goes into making these. These are not just mass produced for the most part. You can see the smoke there coming out of the chimney. Even the chimney itself is made out of little beads. That's about as much as I can zoom in there. Hopefully you can see that there on the chimney and just that intricacy of all of the beadwork. There's the front, the moon there, the back is blank. But this one sold on best offer for $50. Another one here that sold for $50. I absolutely love this one because it lights up. How cool is that? This is from GH Bass. There's a variety of these items that are selling that have been essentially upcycled into ugly Christmas sweaters. And this one sold full asking price for $50. This is another brand that you may see again in this video. It's from a brand that is called Eagle's Eye. Now they are really known for their ugly sweaters, holiday themed sweaters, as well as all different types of sweaters. I've even seen game boards, Campbell's soup. So if you see that brand, it's one that is definitely worth looking into. And with this one, there is so many details that have gone into that. The hair on that doll, check out her little blonde curls. The trim on the sleeves is almost like a candy cane. Got a toy soldier there with a whole bunch of different toys. Got that fireplace and the rug and the presents and the bows on the presents. Even the buttons on this one, they look like little peppermint candies. All of those details matter, and that's something that buyers are looking for. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on the poinsettia arrangement above the fireplace as well. Have those little vines and just the little details of the leaves, the berries on the flowers, the stockings hanging from the mantle. Even the back of this one is fully detailed with 3 bears sleeping in bed, dreaming of Christmas confections. This sold for $50 on best offer, but I believe that the seller could have gotten a little bit more than that if they would have held out maybe a bit longer. And it's not just vintage items that are selling well. This cardigan sweater that has some nutcrackers there on that, you're gonna see that as a common theme, of course, around Christmas time. It's actually from a brand called Queen of Sparkles. Again, this is not a vintage brand, this is a current item. And this sold full asking price $125. Another full price sale. It's actually from the Quacker Factory. There's the tag if you have not seen this before. This sweater has some angels on it. It has a star there that says hope, has a little rainbow, another star there with peace on it. There's the back side of the sweater again, another rainbow star that says believe, and a little angel there sitting on a cloud. This one sold full asking price $70. This is another brand that you're going to probably see over and over again. And this is from Michael Simon. So many details with this brand. You saw that little bow there on the back, the stripes down the sleeve. We'll look at some of these details a little bit closer here, but there is the Michael Simon tag. There are several variations. This just happens to be one of these. You're going to be able to tell that this is an older item based off of those shoulder pads that are sewn in there. That is what this seller is showing there. That's a good reminder to show those details like that. You're seeing all of the beads that are involved in this item throughout the entire front. The entire front of this is patterned with the bows as well as the beadwork that looks like maybe Christmas trees. This sold on best offer for $100. All right, so it's probably no surprise that anything with Taylor Swift's name on it is selling for through the roof. This is what the tag looks like. It says Christmas Tree Farm and Taylor Swift. It looks like it has a little church there on the front, and then Taylor Swift down here on the bottom with those cats with the reindeer antlers. This sold on best offer $125. Another one from the brand Barrick. This one is so cute with the claws couple there, Rudolph there on the back. This is what the Barrick tag looks like on this one, hand knit by Barrick. Hopefully I'm saying that right, but this is a brand that you will see common to vintage items. Has the cute little rhinestone Christmas tree there on the sleeve. This sold full asking price $90. Tiara International is another label that you'll commonly come across with vintage items, and they do make some profitable items. It can be a little bit hit or miss, but I do find that their Christmas items or holiday themed items do well. So this one has a couple little teddy bears on it. It's actually a sweater vest. A few minor flaws in here with pulled threads. Don't bypass these types of items just because of these kind of flaws. This one sold on best offer for $51.73. This is a Nutcracker ballet themed sweater. It's from a brand called Belle Point. And again, you're going to notice the intricacies of this design. There's beadwork, there's his hair, there's more beads in the hat on his head with the snowflake there, with all of this sweater. Even a toy soldier there on the back, as well as some snowflakes on the back and the arms. This one sold $63.74, and that was on a 15% off sale. A good reminder to run those sales. They can really help with making sales and getting things out the door. Now this one is not technically a sweater, it's more of a top, but with an ugly Christmas sweater design to it. This one is from Disneyland, so you're seeing that there across the back, as well as the Mickey Mouse ear theme throughout this top. And this one sold full asking price $70. This next one is a character from a movie, Gremlins. I have actually not seen this one, but there is the tag there. But anytime you come across these types of characters and then weave them into, no pun intended, a holiday sweater, these can be some big money. This sold full asking price $100. Another Michael Simon sweater here. This is a snowman themed sweater. Again, all of the details. These Michael Simon sweaters are often very colorful as well, so that can be an easy way to spot these from afar. Has a snowman there on the back, those colorful patchwork style sleeves. Here is the Michael Simon tag on this one. If you've been paying attention to tags, you're going to notice that this is different than the last Michael Simon tag that we looked at. There are about 3 or so different common variations out there, so just be aware of those differences when you're outsourcing. Even some snowmen down the arms. And this sold on best offer for $50. This is an ugly Christmas sweater themed sweatshirt. This has the abominable snowman eating an In-N-Out burger. Fry sledding, milkshake skiing. This is just crazy. There is what the tag looks like on this one. And it sold full asking price $95. This is from a brand called Marissa Christina, and this is a cardigan sweater. Again, you're noticing throughout the video all of the detail that goes into a lot of these sweaters. That's a lot of what buyers are after. Even have a little bell there attached to that bow, different colored buttons, decorations on the Christmas tree, as well as details on the presents under the tree. There's the back with a little bear and a couple of stockings. This sold full asking price for about $59. Another sweater from Tiara International. This one is very decorative, has some little bears there, ornaments, a Christmas tree, some unique beads. There's the back of that sweater, definitely a little bit more on the plain side. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in on that overall so you can get a good idea of what that looks like. And this sold on best offer for $55. This is another one of those upcycled sweaters. This one is actually from Walmart, where they took just a basic sweater and then added to it. It's from the Walmart brand Time and True. And it's got poinsettias, like fake poinsettias, like somebody went to the craft store and then came home and glued these on. Same with the bow there. A big cat there in the middle. And this sold full asking price, $50. Another sweater from Barrick, a different tag than what we've seen a couple of times before with this brand. Looks like it has some cross-country skiers on it. Maybe not over the top Christmas, but definitely winter themed. You can see the skiers there on the back, as well as snow and trees. And little metallic tree buttons. This sold full asking price, $190. Another Tiara International sweater here. This one's got Christmas presents. It's got Old Saint Nick down there at the bottom, some stockings, and a Christmas tree. The back on this one is plain, and it sold full asking price, $75. This is a Captain America sweater with a holiday themed to it. There is the tag there from Marvel. And this was sold on best offer for $50. By the way, all of the sale prices that I'm showing today have been verified with eBay's research tool Terapeak. That's something that you need to get in the habit of doing when you're looking up sold comps, when you're deciding whether or not to source items, as well as how to price them. If you need help doing that, then I've got you covered in the video that I'll link to up here. Another sweater that's ski themed, not over the top holiday sweater. It looks like downhill skiing. This is from the Gap of all places. You will notice on the tag that it says hand knit. So anytime you see that on a tag, that's a really good clue that that could be a profitable item, even if it's maybe a less desirable or lower resale value brand. This sold full asking price, $70. Another one that's not so Christmassy, but still definitely could fall within that winter holiday themed. These are little ice fisher men and maybe women, got their catch there, and you'll see the fur trim around their faces as well as the sleeves and their boots. This is the tag on this one, Picnic Solo by Snazzle. This one went for $75. Microsoft sweater here. There's the tag, and this sold full price, $100. This one's more of a sweatshirt, but I had to show this just because this is more of a unique item. Little Christmas scene there on the front with Santa flying off into the moon. It's got that lace trim collar, and all of the imaging on the front is done with what is termed puffy paint, so it gives it a little bit of a 3D feel. It's hard to see on this. You can definitely feel this when you're picking items up. You're gonna notice in the title that they did call out puffy paint. This one had 11 bids on it and went for $67. This is that third variation of one of the more common Michael Simon tags that I mentioned. With this one, it's got a Christmas tree on the front that's entirely done out of beadwork. It's got some small bow details there on the sleeves, but it's mostly just that tree across the front of this cardigan. It is a 3X and it sold full asking price, $99. Now, one way to either source or sell these items, depending on which angle you're working from, is in lots. This is a 100-pound bale of ugly holiday sweaters, and it sold for about $402. It's probably somewhere around 70 individual items, working out to probably less than $6 an item. A holiday themed from the brand Woolrich. This one is pretty simple and what looks to be an intarsia design, where the design is knit right into the fabric. This sold for about $78 after a best offer. Another sweater with reindeer here on it. You're noticing that these sleeves are pretty well worn, where they're coming apart as far as that knitting goes. This is from Ralph Lauren, and check out the material content tag as well. Silk, linen, and cotton. Those can make a big difference when it comes to the resale value of items. Even in flawed condition, this one went for the full asking price of $50. And a zip cardigan, this one is from J. Jill. There's the tag, women's 2X. And this one sold on a 25% off sale for about $56. And a cardigan sweater from one of my favorite Christmas movies, Charlie Brown. Got Charlie Brown and Snoopy there on the front. And this is a tag that says Snoopy and Friends, made in the USA. Ornaments on the sleeve, some metallic thread, and this sold full asking price for about $59. Okay, now that you've seen what's selling, here's your challenge. Next time you're thrifting or listing your own Christmas stash, check those tags and graphics before you pass them up. And if you want more help spotting year-round profitable clothing niches, then stick around for this next video where I show you some of the fastest selling used clothing items. Click here, and I'll see you there.